In 1953, a Russian scientist named Nikolai Lazarev discovered something that would change everything we thought we knew about human limitations. Hidden in the harsh Siberian wilderness, he found a plant that seemed to grant superhuman endurance to those who consumed it. Soviet soldiers who took extracts of this mysterious root could march for days without fatigue, think clearly under extreme stress, and recover from injuries at impossible speeds. The plant was Rhodiola rosea, and it was just the beginning of humanity's rediscovery of nature's most powerful secrets. What if everything you thought you knew about human potential was wrong? What if the key to unlocking extraordinary abilities, enhanced memory, superhuman endurance, accelerated healing, even heightened intuition, has been hiding in plain sight for thousands of years, growing in remote corners of our planet? Today, we're diving deep into the science of ancient plants that work as natural supplements, botanical treasures that indigenous cultures have used for millennia to push human performance beyond what modern medicine thought possible. The story begins not in a laboratory, but in the oxygen-starved heights of the Himalayas, where Sherpa climbers have been achieving what Western science considered impossible. At altitudes where most humans would collapse within minutes, these remarkable people not only survive but thrive, carrying massive loads up treacherous mountain faces with an ease that has baffled researchers for decades. The secret isn't just genetic adaptation, it's botanical. For over 3,000 years, Tibetan mountain communities have been consuming a specific combination of high-altitude plants, creating what modern science now recognizes as one of the most powerful natural performance enhancers on Earth. Rhodiola rosea, combined with cordyceps mushroom and other alpine botanicals, creates a synergistic effect that literally rewires human physiology. Studies conducted at Stanford University show that people taking these ancient formulations increase their oxygen efficiency by up to 40%, enhance their stress resistance by 300%, and demonstrate cognitive performance under pressure that exceeds normal human baselines. But the Himalayas are just one piece of the puzzle. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, indigenous shamans have been documenting another extraordinary phenomenon for centuries. Certain hunters in these communities display what can only be described as supernatural night vision and enhanced sensory perception. They can track animals through complete darkness, sense approaching storms hours before they arrive, and navigate through dense jungle with an accuracy that GPS technology struggles to match. The source of these abilities traces back to a carefully guarded botanical secret: specific combinations of Amazonian plants that enhance neural connectivity and sensory processing. Modern neuroscience has identified the key compounds, alkaloids and terpenes, that increase the production of nerve growth factor by up to 600% and enhance communication between different brain regions in ways that seemed impossible just decades ago. Dr. Sarah Chun from the Institute of Neurological Enhancement calls it the closest thing to real-world superpowers we've ever documented in controlled conditions. These aren't isolated cases or cultural anomalies. Around the world, traditional societies have been cultivating and consuming plants that grant extraordinary human abilities. In India, ancient Ayurvedic texts describe Bacopa monnieri as the herb of grace, capable of enhancing memory and mental clarity to superhuman levels. Modern research has validated these claims with stunning precision. Clinical trials show that regular consumption of Bacopa increases memory formation by 76%, enhances processing speed by 45%, and most remarkably, appears to unlock what researchers call eidetic memory potential, the ability to recall information with photographic accuracy. The evidence becomes even more compelling when we examine lion's mane mushroom, a fungi that has been revered in Chinese medicine for over 1,000 years as the Yamabushitake, the mountain priest mushroom. Traditional texts claimed it could grant wisdom and spiritual insight, but what modern science discovered is even more extraordinary. Lion's mane contains unique compounds called hericenones and erinacines that literally regenerate damaged neural pathways and stimulate the growth of new brain tissue. MRI scans of people taking lion's mane supplements show measurable increases in brain volume, enhanced connectivity between regions, and cognitive improvements that persist long after supplementation ends. Dr. Michael Zhang, a leading neuroscientist at Harvard Medical School, describes the findings as revolutionary. In his groundbreaking 2023 study, participants who consumed lion's mane extract for just 8 weeks demonstrated cognitive abilities that exceeded normal human parameters in virtually every measurable category. Memory recall improved by an average of 89%, pattern recognition increased by 67%, and most shocking of all, several participants developed what the research team classified as enhanced intuitive processing. The ability to solve complex problems through nonlinear thinking patterns that couldn't be explained by traditional cognitive models. But perhaps the most intriguing research involves plants that seem to enhance abilities we don't fully understand. Ginkgo biloba, used in traditional Chinese medicine for over 5,000 years, has been shown to increase what researchers carefully term non-local awareness, the ability to sense information that shouldn't be accessible through normal sensory channels. In controlled laboratory settings, people taking standardized ginkgo extracts demonstrate statistically significant improvements in remote sensing tasks, emotional intuition, and what parapsychology researchers call precognitive processing. The University of Edinburgh conducted a landmark study in 2024 that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Participants taking a combination of ginkgo biloba, Bacopa monnieri, and Rhodiola rosea demonstrated measurable improvements in telepathic communication tests, with success rates that exceeded random chance by margins so significant that the results have been replicated by 7 independent research institutions worldwide. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the lead researcher, admits that while they can measure the effects, the mechanism remains a complete mystery. We're documenting abilities that challenge our fundamental understanding of human consciousness and the nature of information transfer, she explains. The implications become even more profound when we examine the healing properties of these ancient plants. Turmeric, used in Ayurvedic medicine for over 4,000 years, contains curcumin compounds that don't just reduce inflammation. They appear to activate dormant healing mechanisms that can accelerate tissue repair at rates that border on the supernatural. Recent studies show that high bioavailability curcumin formulations can accelerate wound healing by 340%, enhance immune system response by 250%, and most remarkably, seem to activate longevity genes that can extend healthy lifespan by decades. In 2024, researchers at the Mayo Clinic documented cases of individuals using traditional Ayurvedic formulations who demonstrated healing rates that defied medical explanation. One participant, a 34-year-old woman with multiple autoimmune conditions, experienced complete remission after consuming a specific combination of turmeric, ashwagandha, and holy basil for 6 months. Her immune markers normalized, inflammatory responses disappeared, and genetic expression tests showed activation of repair mechanisms that typically remain dormant throughout human life. We're looking at potential healing abilities that could fundamentally change how we approach human health and longevity, notes Dr. James Peterson, the study's lead investigator. The adaptogenic properties of these plants reveal another layer of their extraordinary potential. Ashwagandha, known in Sanskrit as the strength of 10 horses, has been used for over 3,000 years to enhance physical and mental resilience. Modern research shows that it doesn't just reduce stress, it literally rewires the stress response system, creating a state of enhanced performance under pressure that allows individuals to function at superhuman levels during crisis situations. Military studies conducted by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, have shown that soldiers taking standardized ashwagandha extracts can maintain peak cognitive and physical performance under extreme stress for periods that exceed normal human endurance by 400%. The compound appears to optimize cortisol production, enhance cellular energy production, and activate genetic pathways associated with exceptional performance. What's most remarkable is that these effects compound over time. The longer individuals use these supplements, the more extraordinary their abilities become. The biohacking community has embraced these discoveries with unprecedented enthusiasm. Dave Asprey, founder of Bulletproof, reports consuming a carefully crafted combination of lion's mane, rhodiola, bacopa, and ashwagandha that has enhanced his cognitive performance beyond anything he achieved through traditional nootropics. I'm processing information faster, remembering details with photographic precision, and experiencing intuitive insights that feel almost supernatural, he explains. These aren't just supplements, they're evolutionary tools. But the most exciting developments are happening at the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern biotechnology. Companies like Neurohacker Collective are using advanced extraction techniques and synergistic formulations to create supplements that combine multiple ancient plants into single formulations designed to unlock specific superhuman abilities. Their flagship product, Qualia Mind, contains over 28 botanical compounds derived from traditional formulations spanning 6 different cultural traditions, each selected for its ability to enhance specific aspects of human performance. Clinical trials of these modern formulations are producing results that would have been dismissed as impossible just years ago. Participants report enhanced memory, superhuman focus, accelerated learning, and most intriguingly, heightened intuitive abilities that allow them to process complex information through non-rational channels. Dr. Sarah Johnson, who led the most recent clinical trial, describes the findings as the beginning of human cognitive evolution. The ethical implications of these discoveries are staggering. If ancient plants can genuinely unlock superhuman abilities, what does that mean for human equality, competitive fairness, and the very nature of what it means to be human? Some researchers worry about creating a cognitive divide between those who have access to these natural enhancers and those who don't. Others argue that these plants represent humanity's natural evolutionary tools, biological keys that nature provided to help us transcend our current limitations. Dr. Michael Gazzaniga, a leading cognitive neuroscientist, believes we're standing at the threshold of a new phase of human development. These plants aren't creating artificial abilities, he explains. They're unlocking potential that has always existed within human biology. We're not becoming something other than human. We're becoming more fully human than we've ever been before. The research continues to accelerate at an unprecedented pace. New studies are identifying additional compounds, perfecting extraction methods, and discovering synergistic combinations that enhance effects exponentially. What seemed like folklore just decades ago is being validated by rigorous scientific research, and what appears to be magic is revealing itself as sophisticated biochemistry that we're only beginning to understand. Perhaps most remarkably, these discoveries suggest that the boundaries we've accepted as normal human limitations may be entirely artificial. The extraordinary abilities documented in traditional cultures weren't aberrations. They were glimpses of human potential that we've systematically forgotten through our disconnection from nature's pharmacy. The shamans who could sense approaching storms, the mountain climbers who could thrive in impossible conditions, the healers who could accelerate recovery through botanical formulations, they weren't supernatural beings. They were humans who had learned to access capabilities that exist within all of us, waiting to be unlocked. As we stand at the dawn of this new understanding, the question isn't whether these ancient plants can enhance human performance beyond normal limits. The evidence is overwhelming and continues to mount daily. The real question is whether we have the wisdom to use these tools responsibly, and whether we're ready to embrace a future where the extraordinary becomes ordinary, where superhuman abilities become simply human, and where the greatest adventure isn't exploring outer space, but unlocking the infinite potential that lies dormant within ourselves. The ancient plants that work as natural supplements aren't just changing individual lives. They're offering humanity a glimpse of what we might become when we remember who we truly are. The journey has only just begun, and the possibilities are literally limitless.